My name is Maria, I am 30 years old and I live in the bustling city of Chicago. I work in the marketing department of a large tech company. My life can be a bit chaotic, but I have my routines that keep me grounded. I take pride in my work and love my independence. One thing that really sets me apart is my knack for problem solving. No matter how high the stakes, I always find a way to navigate through challenges. I like to think of myself as clever and resourceful. However, recently, I found myself in a situation that shook my world to its core and brought my cleverness to the forefront in ways I could never have imagined. 6 months ago, I lost a beloved possession, my Bluetooth headphones. These headphones had seen better days, but they had a charm of their own. I had dropped them dozens of times, even dunked them in water, but they always pulled through. Unfortunately, one day, I noticed they had disappeared from my desk at work. I tried to brush it off, thinking of it as just one of those things, but I felt a knot in my stomach. That knot tightened further when, just a few days ago, I spotted my headphones. Yes, I saw my very own pair, the ones that had been stolen, on the head of a coworker named Jessica, a new hire who always seemed to have a knack for stepping on everyone's toes. She had the audacity to walk around the office with tape holding them together and a clearly smug look on her face as if she had not just committed the ultimate crime. It made my skin crawl, but I knew I had to keep my cool for the sake of professionalism. It was a Monday morning department meeting, and everyone was gathered to meet our new director. Jessica came in wearing those headphones, completely unaware of the storm that was about to brew. During the meeting, she set her phone too far away from her bag, which housed my headphones. I sat back with a grin, knowing this might be my chance to stir up some fun. I discreetly pulled out my phone, which still had those headphones linked to its Bluetooth settings. I could hardly believe my luck as I noticed how easily they connected without her realizing it. At that moment, I thought about letting it go. After all, revenge might not always be the best path forward. However, as I looked at the clueless Jessica engrossed in her phone, I decided I would show her that karma can come swiftly. I tapped on the volume, cranked it up to the max, and rolled the dice. Suddenly, my headphones exploded with sound. The piercing noises of what sounded like someone wailing in a mixture of pleasure and pain filled the conference room. It was beyond absurd. A woman's loud voice echoed through the space, barking orders that should have never been blasted in a professional setting. The sounds of slapping and squishing accompanied every vulgar command, and I could hardly contain my laughter as Jessica's face turned a cherry red. Everyone in the room dropped their notebooks and turned toward the source of the commotion. She froze, her hands fumbling as dread washed over her, realizing exactly what was happening. The place erupted in chaos. My heart raced at what I had unleashed, and I instantly felt a mix of thrill and guilt. I watched as Jessica's eyes widened in sheer panic. She tried to turn off her connection, but to no avail. The headphones seemed to have a mind of their own, continuing to blast the soundtrack of embarrassment further into the room. People in our department were giggling, some were outright laughing. I could barely catch my breath as I continued to see the details unfold. Jessica whipped around, trying to flee from the room, her face a mask of despair as she pushed through the meeting room doors. Her exit was swift, leaving behind her dignity and my beloved headphones. Noticing a few colleagues pointed fingers and snickered, I decided to tone down the volume on my phone before I became the target of jokes myself. I deleted the headphones from my Bluetooth list, and just like that, I was done with the event. Jessica never returned to her desk for the rest of the day. News traveled quickly in our office, and I couldn't help but feel satisfied that she got a taste of her own medicine. The sweet taste of revenge lingered in my mind as I left the office that day. Who would have thought that a pair of busted headphones would cause such a ruckus? I felt liberated, like I had balanced the scales in some cosmic way. Later on in the week, I learned that Jessica got a reprimand for her reckless behavior in the office and was warned about respecting others' property. I now saw her lurking around like a shadow, a reminder of what could happen when you are careless and thoughtless. But I returned to my usual routines, knowing that I handled that situation with flair and justice. Life continued in the marketing department, and while I maintained my professionalism, I sure would be keeping an eagle eye on my belongings. And every now and then, I would hear snippets of laughter that brought back memories of that day, reminding me that sometimes, revenge can be a dish served with just a pinch of laughter and a dash of audacity.